Nof Clipper Hi, friends. Today I wanted to do something a little different and discuss the Ghost. I know I'm a couple weeks late to this. I was out of town for the first few days of September, so it took a while before I could even get to build it. But now that I have built it, I kind of wanted to do a little comparison video of the two and kind of a review of the new one. Give my thoughts on it and some of the things that I think were better about it and some of the things that I think were worse about it. So with that being said, here we have Lego set 75053, the Ghost, and 75357, Ghost and Phantom 2. The first thing I'm going to talk about is just, here they are. I'm going to talk about some of the things I like, and then I'll talk about some of the things I disliked. But first, we'll do a little kind of comparison. So as you can see, here's the first one, and then here's the original. So definitely, I think a lot more of a modern look to this one. Just looking at it, some of the build and the pieces to it, as opposed to this one's much more of a basic kind of ship. I definitely think this one has more of an interior, so if we take that off, definitely a lot more of an interior, as opposed to, whoops. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. As opposed to, here's the interior of this one. Yeah, it's not much, right? If you watched the My Lego Rebel Life stop motion series I did back in 2017 and 2018, you'll know that this featured in it a lot, and there was a couple times I had to do interior shots with this, and it was extremely difficult. I mean, there's no interior in here. It just goes down to the bottom of the ship. So here are the minifigs that come with the new Ghost. Obviously, the Ghost and the Phantom are one set in this case, whereas here are the figures. I'll just show them individually. Those are the figures that come with the Ghost, the original Ghost, and then those are the figures that come with the Phantom 2. You see you get Kanan and Thrawn there. So I do want to note real quick too, I couldn't dig the first Phantom out. I would have it displayed on the side here just for, extra notes and comparison. It's relatively the same width as the Phantom 2 over here. Obviously not the same size. It doesn't have this giant dorsal fin. And it came with Ezra and Chopper. So, my thoughts on this one overall. I gotta say I'll start off with what I like because it's a quicker list, and I want to try to start out positive. So, as far as what I liked the look of it. I mean, how can you look at that and not love the look of it, the overall aesthetic of it? I love the pieces. I love the interior. I love that there's an actual interior. This is supposed to be a ship that's the same size approximately to the Millennium Falcon. So when you get a Millennium Falcon Lego that has a nice interior, and then you compare it to this tiny thing, it's a little disappointing. So it's nice to have an actual kind of inside here. I do like that this one has, even though I know they're not actually accurate to the show, at least to the Ahsoka show, this one has ramps here. It has the other one on the opposite side right there. Whereas this one doesn't have any ramp. I do like, I will say, I mean, I have more to say about the Phantom in a minute, but I do like that if you're looking at the two and you compare it to the Ghost as seen in Rebel Season 3 and 4 and the Ahsoka show, the Phantom 2 is scaled a lot better in this set as opposed to that one. I know that, you know, I like this. I do like this. In fact, I might say I love it. But I will admit that this does overall look better as far as basic appearance. Now, as to what I don't like. There's a lot, I'm going to be honest. I think there's many ways that this doesn't improve upon the predecessor. So we'll take the camera off here for a second and I'll show you. I think the first complaint I'm going to give is the Phantom. This is supposed to be a Separatist shuttle. This isn't just a little fighter, it's a shuttle. And if you look at the Lego shuttle of the Separatist shuttle they did in, I think 2009 or so, it's a little bigger than this one. But knowing that the Rebels modified their shuttle that they got away with, I could give this one a pass. But this thing is tiny. It doesn't even have an astromech socket. It's like back to the old early 2000s days where you just got to take the droid's head off and put it right there. That's why I'm guessing there's not a third stud there to make it uniform. It's so you can put Chopper's head right there. But there's no way to get in, whereas if you look at this one, it's got an actual ramp. You know, that's just a crate, but it's got an actual interior that you could put a figure or two in. This doesn't have any of that. And if you look at the base right here, it just looks all spiny, and frankly, I'd call it lazy, as opposed to this. Fans who watch Rebels and know what the Ghost looks like without the Phantom docked, that's about exactly what it looks like. And I don't know what you call that. Other than, like I said, lazy. This nose gun, this is a disappointment. This does not turn. And if you've seen the show, you know it turns. This one turns. I was really disappointed to learn this. I think this is also a very flimsy build. As you saw, I dropped a couple pieces just while showing this. Look at how rocky that is. Whereas this one, it's not that rocky. And that has to do with, if I scooch the figures out of the way, if you look at there, it's got actual landing gear on it. Which, you know, it's kind of cool, right? But when you take the landing gear off, the ship's not level. So you have to leave the landing gear on, which kind of looks awkward when you're running around flying it and playing with it. Whereas if you look at the landing gear on this one, it actually built it into the base of the ship. So it looks like it's part of the ship, and it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. The other aspect I did not like of this is the minifigs. Let's look at the minifigs, right? And I'm not necessarily going to fault Lego for this. You know, as far as releasing this video and filming this video, we're only up to the 5th episode of the Ahsoka show. And the only characters that have been shown with the Ghost are Hera, Jason, and Chopper. I don't know Huyang was in a scene, but you know, so they can't just sell a giant ship like this at the market price was $160 and include 3 figures. So what do? They have to grab a couple characters that they can throw in. And I mean, I don't even remember these guys' names. I had to look at the box to remember them. It's Lieutenant Beta and First Officer Hawkins. They're in one scene in the background of the Ahsoka show. As opposed to the iconic, even if we're just looking at the Ghost alone, you get Kanan, Hera, and Zeb, and a Stormtrooper. But this is just iconic. And then you throw in the first Phantom had Ezra and Chopper, and the second has Kanan, Chopper, and Grand Admiral Thrawn. I'm sorry, but this doesn't hold up. I can't fault Lego for that per se. No one else has appeared with the Ghost. You know, you can't throw Sabine or Ahsoka in because they're in their shuttle. You can't throw Zeb or Rex in because as of this point they haven't appeared in the show, and honestly I don't think at this point they're going to appear in the show. I hope they do. I don't think they're going to though. So I think overall there's a couple things I do like more, but overall it's kind of a I would call lesser, or what would you call that? It's regressing from the first one. I mean, look at the Phantom. Like, this is an actual ship. It's a shuttle. It's got an actual astromech pocket that you can stick Chopper in. And that doesn't have any of that. It's just this little, like, car. I mean, except for the improvement upon the exterior look and the, what do you call it? The interior, which I would call the interior a massive improvement. Overall, no. I mean, would I recommend this set? I guess it just depends. If you are, if you're a fan of both Rebels and Ahsoka and you love the Ghost, or you want some of the new minifigs, or you missed your chance on getting the last Ghost, or if you just, want the second one just for collection's sake, then by all means, go for it. In that sense, I would encourage you. I mean, it wasn't an absolute drag. I loved building it. It was a fun build. It reminded me of building this one 8.5 years ago. But if you can't justify spending $160 on a set that is an improvement, let's say you have the first one and you're having trouble justifying spending that kind of money, or let's say all you really care about is getting a new Hera and Jason, just pick them up on the aftermarket. It's not a die-hard ship. It's something that I think that they could have made a lot more improvements to, especially for the price range. I mean, this one retailed for $90 and this retailed for $30. That's $120 that these two together retailed for. And you got, between the two of them, you got 7 minifigures. The original Phantom, I believe, retailed for $25. So that would be $115, you got 6 minifigs. This one retails for $160, and you get 5 minifigures. And something that's not even a true improvement upon the first one. So, overall, I think I'm going to give this set probably a 7 out of 10, just because I really do like Rebels, and I really do like the show. I really like the Ghost. And I'm really glad we got another one. And I think this one, I'd probably have given a 8 out of 10 at least, maybe a 9 out of 10, I don't know. I think overall it's clear that this was the one that will stand the test of time. This is the better version. And this will probably just be one forgotten in the past when many years have gone on. But those are my thoughts on the Ghost. Thank you guys for joining in. I hope you liked this video. Let me know if you do. Maybe I'll do a review of the Jedi shuttle and sitting there in the back when I build it. Otherwise, thank you for joining in. Darth Momo out, and may the Force be with you. Always. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, comment down below and hit that like button. Oh, and check out some of my other videos. I'm sure you'll find them delight.